All right, welcome back to the Momentous Mind YouTube channel. It's Felix here, and this video in particular is a continuation of the Momentous method. It's starting to re-examine and examine more closely the methods that I describe here in my book, The Momentous Method, A Guide to Limitless Potential. This one in particular is rediscovery. Rediscovery is a crucial key that will continually unlock doors in your life. So what is rediscovery, and where do we start with this whole process? When I started writing the book, I literally brought myself to a place of who am I before I describe myself as Felix, or the guy who wrote the book, or the person who served the medicine, or the person who did this. Like, who am I without all these descriptive narratives that aren't really me anyways? And what I started to notice is that with these new eyes, with these eyes of allowing myself to be nobody, with allowing myself to see my life almost as a child again, I was able to see where I started to build Felix, where I started to build this idea of who I am and what I deserve for my life. Everything that I believed that I deserved in my life, I achieved. So this is the really beautiful part of manifestation that a lot of people are missing out on, is everything you believe, you will manifest. And narratives are the core coding of what you start to manifest. Let's give you an example. When I was 5 years old, I would tell my mom, I had this really cool book. It was The Animals of the Amazon. And I loved this book. I mean, it was wrinkled and stained and torn and all kinds of shit. But I read this book over and over and over again, just desiring to be there in the Amazon rainforest. And one day I went to her and I said, you know what, Mom, one day I'm going to go to the Amazon rainforest. And she laughed, and, time went on, and I would get like sounds of the rainforest to go fall asleep to. So I had all these CDs of the sounds of the rainforest to fall asleep to. And it's hilarious because when I turned 23, I ended up going down to the Amazon rainforest, and I was laying in my bed, and I could hear the sounds of the jungle around me. I could hear these beautiful birds chirping and insects chirping all throughout the night. And I was like, wow, that child knew and created this experience that I'm having right now. So in rediscovery, a key element is to see what you believe about yourself, of what you deserve, of what you believe you deserve, or the stories you tell yourself of what you believe you deserve, and the things that you believe you don't deserve. Now, they're both equally important, but I'm going to focus on the things that we believe we don't deserve. So I remember when I was in high school, and in high school I had this biology teacher or something, and she was explaining to the class about Einstein, and how Einstein was, one of the most intelligent people that ever lived on Earth, and he, created the general relativity theory and yada, yada, yada. And I could be wrong. But she said one thing that really stuck out to me, is that Einstein, even though he was the smartest person that ever lived, only used 25% of his brain. And I'm like, I remember that just sticking in my head so clearly. It rang like a bell. If Einstein was the smartest person in the world and he only used 25% of his brain, maybe if that's the incorrect number, but still, that's what I remember, and he only used 25% of his brain, what is the other 75%? If I'm only using 15% of my brain, which is woo, what is the other 85%? And this question stuck in my mind throughout my entire life. How can I continue to unlock the rest of my mind? Now, there's two things really interesting in this story that stuck in my mind. The first thing is that I believe that we're only using a certain small percentage of the mind. And, whether it's true or not, it started to build a limitation in my mind. Like, I will never achieve what Einstein achieved because I'm only using 15 to 20% of my brain. And the other thing that stuck in my mind is this other unlimited, unlocked potential that we're all living with. So in this place of rediscovery, this was one of the first things that popped up. Why it popped up, I'm unsure. But it left a major imprint on my mind, and it started to generate both questions and limitations in my life. So narratives are dual in form. Not all narratives, but a lot of them can seem really positive, but they still hold a restraint to our possibilities of manifesting in our lives. So this is manifesting 101. This is like the ultimate core of manifesting. As we go below the space that we've created of who we are and what we believe our world to be, and we enter this space of no narrative, of I can write my own narrative. And where do I start? And what is it that I actually want from my life? If I knew I could have anything, if I knew I could achieve anything, what is it that I would achieve? And, one thing I really wanted to achieve as a kid is I wanted to be an entrepreneur, and I wanted to build theme parks with zoos inside of them. It was this big thing. I would make all these plans, and I'd build maps and diagrams. The other thing was being an author or a public speaker. And I used to stand up on podiums and I'd pretend that I was a public speaker. And, I left those all behind mainly because of schooling. And in my schooling, I had teachers tell me I wasn't intelligent, I wasn't able to write well, I was, getting B's and C's on my literature. And it was a whole thing of demeaning. And I found that a lot of our education system became a system of demeaning, a system of limitations. Another limitation that came through my schooling that I really remember is I loved art, I loved painting, I loved drawing. And it wasn't until I got into high school, and I thought I was very good. I thought I was like the next Picasso. Even my mom did. But, that's what mothers are for. But, in high school, I remember painting something, and I put all my love and joy and happiness into it. And I got a C- on it, or like a D, because I didn't follow the actual assignment. And that immediately started to shut the door on my desire to draw, because I thought I wasn't good at it. And I started to tell myself, I'm not good at art, I probably shouldn't do it anyways. And that's the whole point, is we're not supposed to be very good at something in the beginning. And I wish schooling would start to put that program into our minds instead of, you're not good enough, here's your F, do it again. So, rediscovering. Let's go back to the very beginning. And the importance of rediscovery is starting to re-examine the life that you have manifested around you with fresh eyes. It's starting to almost embrace a childlike state, a state where you don't have all these lists of who you are, your job, your name, all these things. You're just pure potential. And the more we can enter this space day to day of rediscovering what we're telling ourselves we're capable of or not capable of, and going behind them to a place where we have no story, is where we start to actually actualize something very different. We start to access the place where those narratives are written. And that's exactly what this entire book is about. It's about accessing narratives. It's about seeing narratives clearly and shifting those narratives towards a more expansive, more enriched life filled with possibilities. Because I truly believe that we're able to achieve 100% of accessibility to our mind. I really believe that. And I want to see everybody achieve this, where they're able to access this limitless potential that's within them. So in this space of no narrative, or this space where we see that narratives are written, that they are the programs that build our reality, we can start to shift things into a place of more limitless potentiality, because we are limitless. That is the key. That is the key to this entire book, is you are literally a limitless being. And so if you want to start manifesting an unlimited life or a limitless life, you have to start examining the narratives that are telling you you can't, the narratives that are stopping you from striving towards your dreams, that are striving you towards new beginnings, that are striving you from stopping you from taking that trip to that unknown location, that are stopping you from taking that risk to start that business that you wanted to do. They're stopping you from going and sitting in a cave and meditating like a monk. Who knows? Whatever your dream is, it's valuable. And this is the problem, is that I feel a lot of the narratives that have taken over our world are not ours. And so a key aspect in rediscovery is starting to discover which narratives we're believing and living by, which narratives are ours and which narratives are not ours. The vast majority, when I was doing this process of rediscovery for myself, the vast majority of my own personal programs weren't even my programs. And I had no idea. I have some idea where some of them came from, but where the others came from, I have no idea. They started to manifest in my life telling me what I should or shouldn't do. So this is only video 1 of rediscovery. There's so much more. And again, like I said, rediscovery is the key. There's a book by Shunryu Suzuki Roshi. It's called Zen Mind, Beginner's Mind. And in this book, he constantly reiterates to always be a beginner, to always start again. And for us, people that are seeking to go beyond the limitations of what we believe is possible and to unlock our minds to its unlimited potential, we have to constantly be beginners in seeing our mind anew. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to subscribe below. Also, make sure to join our Discord community. This is where we have all these momentous minds coming together to build each other up in breaking free from limitations. As soon as you sign up to our Discord community, I'm going to send you a link to my website, which if you sign up to the email list, I will send you a free copy of the Momentous Method, a guide to limitless potential right now. So check it out. And again, thank you for watching.